Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are taking a look at EDG versus Top Esports. Finally, some games have nothing to do with IG and FPX. People are complaining that I'm just choosing the teams that people know. I'm trying to choose the best games, because I can't review them all, so I'm choosing very carefully. It takes a lot out of my voice to review these games. So let's, oh my goodness. Okay, that's the way to start it. Thank you so much, NX1000. Let's jump into the game. Welcome to the sub squad, bro. Boom. Alright. Bans Kiana, Lucian, Gragas, something that is a strange ban, honestly. Now on the first pick, we have, what do we have? I can't think quick on my feet here. Leeson first pick. Leeson first pick. Okay. I would be lying if I said that I know the specifics of all of these players, but usually here Nautilus, Senna, Aphelios are the champions that people lock in first. Honestly, I think Senna is the best AD carry. I think Misfortune comes second and then Aphelios third. I have yet to see Aphelios do something incredible in competitive play, so I'm waiting for that to happen. Look at that quality. The stream quality is beautiful. Look at that. Misfortune is the lock-in. I think getting Senna is super nice. Senna Braum, I think, is just the freest lock-in into this right away. Skarner. Jarvan into Lee is good matchup for Lee, but Kasa has a lot of success in the early games with Jarvan. This is a very standard rotation on red side. We see Jarvan Misfortune. Nautilus is open. I think Braum, Senna, lock-in is just the best. By far. That's Senna. Let's grab a Braum as well. Right? Oh, just straight up Leona. Okay, Clear Love on the stage. He's the coach. Suit looking snazzy. I guess if they look in Senna and Braum, what they would be afraid of is Leona. But I feel like with Nautilus, Leona being in the picture, these are equally good supports. And now your interaction against Misfortune. Like playing Senna against these three is kind of hard if you don't have a Braum. The Braum provides a lot of necessary protection, and already from the get-go, the 3v3 on mid lane later that is going to happen is going to be super hard for EDG. I think Top Esports just have a better draft so far. I think Senna really needs something that just the defense. The left side of your cam is showing again. I guess it's well, let me take a look. Adjust this filter, chroma key, and then boom. Should be better. There we go. Okay. Ornn, LeBlanc ban on red side. LeBlanc a Scout Classic. Usually second wave what we're seeing is target bans and a lot of top lane bans. Mordekaiser looks pretty free here as a fourth pick. Mordekaiser looks pretty strong. You have the option of Fiora. Zoe gets locked in as a blind pick. This is why they banned LeBlanc. Irelia has a very free matchup into Zoe. Let's see what they lock into Zoe. There are counters to Zoe, but Zoe is really strong in lane. It's like there are champions that are good against Zoe, but Zoe is a fine blind pick if you have to, honestly. It's not too shabby. Here there's Mordekaiser as well. Are they afraid of potential Fiora for not picking Mordekaiser? Aatrox has an okay matchup into Fiora as well. Aatrox is the lock-in. It's surprising. I thought Mordekaiser would be the easy choice here. Easy choice. Syndra looking against Syndra. I mean Zoe. Oh, okay. Are we gonna see Diana? Diana solo AP. Okay, so finished draft. I think it is heavily in Top Esports' favor. They got the last pick, they got the better first three picks. The first pick that EDG got was Lee Sin. I don't think that's great at all. I think the Gragas ban was kind of wasted. I think you can set up for a better AD carry pick, because that's usually what happens on blue side. You get the premium pick on blue in terms of AD carry, and then you get the choice and you use that. Here, Top Esports got the choice. They got the better combo. on the 3v3 on mid lane. It will be easier for them to siege. Split push, Jax is going to win. The only question is how fed can this Diana get? But I think snowballing onto Zoe is very difficult, so I give this draft 100% to Top Esports. Top Esports is just, it's super free, this draft. So no way that EDG is going to win based off the draft, unless, you know, Top Esports just run it down. So let's take a look. I need to press this one so I can move with my arrow key. EDG do have some champions that can pop off, you know, like if Diana gets really fed, and obviously it shifts everything. If Senna gets to a point where she's really strong, it also shifts everything. Here, in terms of how the teams can play the early game, really differs here. But I think the difficulty will be here. I think Zoe and Jarvan can definitely impact mid first. I think that should happen. Just pressure the Diana as much as possible. Make sure Zoe can harass under the turret, so Diana gets nothing out of her TP. I think that's definitely the way. EDG with their bot lane matchup also might have some options to set up a gank onto Misfortune. They have a lot of CC. If Lee can get a lot of kills here, if somehow EDG managed to find kills in their lanes, I think maybe there's a chance here. But I think strictly from a draft point of view, I think Top Esports are just better off, honestly. Ooh, Choco Foxy, thank you so much. Let me just pause here and then move everything so I don't block any part of the screen. It's a good reminder. Thank you so much, Better Foxy. So everyone that's watching on YouTube, I apologize. Okay. Let's continue. Blue start leasing with leash from Aatrox. So here Jax didn't leash, Casa solo starting red. No vision at all from EDG to spot Jarvan's movement here. Lee Sin is starting blue and is going to path into bottom side. Casa has a lot of options of how he wants to pressure. Scout is giving up. Level 1 wouldn't get prio anyway against Zoe, that's why he's not warding. Zoe is pushing and is going to slow push a big wave and then just harass Scout as much as possible, get level 2. Hope for balloons, meaning hope for potential, hope for potential freaking spells for her W. Spells for her W, of course. Casa now taking the Raptors. Lee Sin's gonna get level 3 from these wolves and gonna step into his both side jungle. This is something that helps a lot of junglers against Jarvan, that you can get level 3 on both sides of the map. Lee is now level 3 going towards the red. Casa only did 2 camps, stole away partially some parts of the Raptors, and is now continuing to take his own blue. Maybe he won't even reach level 3. I think he's gonna reach level 3. I'm not entirely certain, honestly. I guess we'll just have to see. Casa gets level 3, so if you leave one Raptor, you still get level 3. Sorry, I was uncertain. They know the position of Lee as well. He cleared the Raptor. There is a zombie ward now. Casa going into top side, and he's playing mind games here because Casa wasn't spotted, and Lee is going to have a hard time face checking this river because of the position of Zoe. And also, we can see now MF and Nautilus are going for a base on the cannon wave. I like this move. They're not going to lose much, but it's hard to judge. I'm just looking at the minimap, so it's maybe I'm talking shit, you know, because the observer is not showing me what's going on. Aatrox is now slow pushing, so Jax can definitely stay here. That is an EQ into flash, so very smart pathing here from Casa. Knowing he has full advantage on top, Lee is not going to be able to show. Top wave is bouncing, and they can look to pressure onto Aatrox here. I like the pathing from Casa so far. Tobies was trying to sneak away the crab, but GG because of Jarvan showing on top. You could argue that maybe burning this flash of Aatrox is not worth it, because now Jarvan exposed his position, made it easy for Lee Sin to face check the river, and after that Lee could just go, take the crab, contest, no problem. So you could argue here, Jarvan made a mistake burning flash. Let's see if it pays off. That's the main question here. You make a sacrifice, you get the benefit of the flash, but if the flash comes off cooldown again, and Top Esports don't get any significant lead here, it doesn't matter too much. Ooh, Nautilus, if you miss your Q like this and you don't proc Aftershock, it's dangerous for yourself. That's a very big mistake. If you don't proc Aftershock, you get stunned by Leona. It's tricky. It's the same for both supports in this matchup. It's like if you EQ in, you can easily get killed because your Aftershock disappears after some time, obviously, and after that it gets rough. I don't have my headset completely on because I need to hear the doorbell. I ordered some food. Erzo gets to push the wave in. Maybe he's gonna keep TP here because Jax TP'd back indeed. Aatrox has all the time in the world to walk top, so he's not gonna TP. The wave is in a good position. Jax based and TP back with freaking Doran's blade, so that there was no item advantage that he could use to freeze the wave and deny Aatrox. But Jax just wants to scale into the lane, and then eventually he's going to beat Aatrox. Early Aatrox should win, and the fact that he got ganked early has impact. And then now Aatrox is keeping his TP. Let's see if there'll be an effect here. Okay. So the TP, okay. I just felt like QQ could get away here. He couldn't get away. What is he doing? What is he smoking? GG gets spotted on the ward. I was so surprised that this worked. Leona Nautilus position, Misfortune Nautilus position is not that great. It's not that great. They're pushing. Jarvan should have covered this already. They should play patiently here, play on Jarvan timer. Aatrox TP's in the bottom, top wave is in a very bad position. Aatrox is gonna lose a shit ton here. I just thought here Nautilus could survive. Like, what did he actually queue? He queued the Leona. So here Misfortune has flash, and I think Nautilus should just punch the Leona and then walk away. So I think if Nautilus autos Leona, queues away, then this would be a very disaster of a play for EDG. Because keep in mind here, Jax is stacking a big wave on top. Aatrox is going to catch it. Right now he's 20 CS behind. It's almost so extreme that I think Diana should go up and catch it, because this wave is going to be big. Diana's now going up to catch it. This wave is, it could drown islands. That's how big this wave is. So Diana's moving now. Aatrox is going into mid. Good maneuver from EDG here, but it does put Aatrox very far behind in the matchup. And Aatrox being behind Jax is definitely an issue. Diana gets to recover a lot of these CS here. Aatrox is now on mid lane. Aatrox is not going to not going to win against Zoe. So he's in a tricky spot. And to consider that this was for a kill, Lee Sin got a kill, and a very little assist gold. This is very bad for Aatrox. Very bad for Aatrox. Aatrox now in top lane. Ninja Tabi for 369. Takeshi 369. I think Nautilus definitely can get away if it just queues away and doesn't queue the Leona. Diana now even CS, which is very positive into Zoe, honestly. Being the even CS with Diana is a big deal. But I'm not too sure about the nature of this matchup. Scout still has his TP. Let's see if it matters. As obviously EDG, like Scout, all he wants to do is look to all in the Zoe. Zoe's going to look to poke and to bubble when Scout goes. Scout is now an XP advantage. He has a blue buff. Kasa hasn't given blue yet. Both junglers in a relatively similar scenario. GJ is looking to recover now Jax's position. Look to put a pink down. And GJ is not fighting. Okay. So yeah, they are afraid of Karsa. They're afraid of Karsa. Zoe is also hovering in the river, and 369 recognizes that they're afraid, honestly. He hits Lee once, he hits him. But the issue here is Jax is so fucking tanky, He has Ninja Tabi, and this is the issue of having so much physical damage on your team. Because even if they go, Jax can hold for a very long time here. Very, very long time. He's a Tabi ninja, and he's going to be a tonk. Top esports are committing all the way for this Herald. There's a swap now. Scout is going into bottom side. EDG are responding in proper manner. Leona and Sen are in position, but they're not going to be able to contest this. Aatrox has lost too much HP. Lee Sin got chunked too, and top esports just have a positional advantage here that is going to be too significant. Also, the way top esports have divided their XP on their bot lane, because Nautilus died, it means Misfortune got a level 6, and the ultimates are so powerful, you guys don't need the explanation of this shit. The ult is just so powerful. So good, nice rotation here at 8 minutes. Push bottom into rotate completely. Boots ready on Nautilus. Misfortune also with their move speed. It was a good rotation, clean, but very strange response here from top esports that they don't consider going bottom at all. They're willing to just look to trade, but I don't like how much CS is being lost at the bottom wave tower. But it works, right? EDG just committed to the play to push off Aatrox, snowball the Jax, and just not give a shit about Diana anymore. And now we're approaching already at this point in time, 10 minutes into the game, a mid-game. A mid-game where 2 outer towers are dead. Jax is going to snowball onto Aatrox, and ideally what EDG want to do here is to send Diana into Jax and punish the fact that he bought armor and hope for the best in the matchup. Because now Aatrox is never going to recover this game. Aatrox is never ever going to recover this game, and very similar to the FPX IG game we saw with Cam being on Fiora, top esports have funneled all of their wealth into 369. Aatrox now behind on XP, behind on gold. Diana, in a very similar fashion to Knight here, is in a very similar state, but Zoe is going to sit on mid lane and not interact with Diana at all. All we have to pay attention to is how will Diana versus Jax 1v1 work. That's just the big question. Top esports with mid prio now, 4 people in mid lane, they're playing a 4-1 here. 369, they're hovering into bottom. 4-1, get mid prio, step into enemy jungle. 369 is looking to make sure that the wave pushes in. So here, Aatrox is trying to contest to make the wave freeze, but 369 of course trades because he just has a big wave. The bigger wave comes in, and it was a fine trade for Gino because he knows he can regen on the wave. This is just the nature of Aatrox, right? With his build, he can easily just regen as much as possible and walk away. Okay. Now we have, once again, the similar position that everything is divided. Diana's going top side, and Jax is going bottom. The biggest difference maker here in this play is that top esports actually don't commit all the way on bottom. The tricky part about it is no one is showing on the mid wave, and they would have to face check the Leona, the Lee Sin, and then Diana has TP. That's why this play doesn't work too well this time around. Top esports usually, if they want to look for a trade like this, it means that they need to be able to pressure bottom turret, but they can't. They just can't because of the things that we mentioned before. So it's not a good macro play from top esports. They needed to hover into top side. Jax has TP, isolate Jax against Aatrox and hover into top side, and don't let Diana take 2 freaking platings. So bad macro play. Unless you're diving the Aatrox and killing him, then it's fine. Just let Aatrox be isolated against Jax and hover into top side. Jax got chunked by Lee here. A punch. And he Geo just using this opportunity to start the Drake. I think it comes down to just top esports and their macro mistake earlier on. Two Drakes now for EDG. They're hanging on. We haven't seen the nature of the compositions take fruit yet. The biggest question mark is Diana versus Jackson side, and how well Gino is going to do as well, because he's now 30 CS behind. Knight getting traded on. He has a redemption in the bank. We also have to pay attention to some of the players I don't recognize, because if I'm going to review more and more LPL games, I'll have to put them into memory. But everyone's excited about top esports because of Knight and Karsa, and some people are going so far to call Knight the best mid laner in the world. So let's see. Next objective now will be the Rift Herald. No summoners being used, and always when you have like these big ult wombo combo teams with Jarvan specifically, flashes become so much more important. because you're so reliant on keeping people in place when you're getting the Jarvan Misfortune combos with Nautilus. And flashes can be very powerful. You know, flashes are better against some champions than others. That's just the nature of it. Top Esports Knight going for GLP, which is interesting. You know, this is something we saw Rookie do on Orianna as well. I like it, honestly. It's a much cheaper item in comparison to Luden's Echo, and the slow effect is not that bad. The cooldown is relatively short, and you get 20% CDR, a bit less AP, but it's worth it for the price reduction. Also, the path is easier because you don't need to buy a blasting one. You can get double amp tome and then a Hextech revolver. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Only interaction still is just Jax versus Diana, who's going to win. Because here, Jax is too far ahead. He's going to win Aatrox and split. Then TP is on Scout. Who's going to win side? Next Rift Herald is also going to be so important. I hope both teams realize that they need to put it on mid lane, because if you break mid tower with compositions like this, when you have Leona, Nautilus, and mid tower is gone, all of a sudden you can easily find engages when the enemy team outnumbers. You can easily keep two people in mid and keep it alive when the enemy rotates and you play 4-1, and it's so easy to clear the waves. The first mid tower is like one of the most important objectives in the game. It's super important. Jack's now setting up blue for Knight. Knight's gonna go into mid lane. They're gonna play 4-1, hover into top, clear the top wave, and then be fine with it. The advantage that EDG have and what they need to play on in order to build the CS advantage is the fact that they have double TP and the enemy doesn't. And if Top Esports manage to break this mid tower with the next Rift Herald, then all of a sudden this TP advantage is going to be less significant, because Top Esports can easily force on the enemy team with Nautilus and Jarvan. It's just let me see. Let me get the EpiPen going. It's always the same. A little lesson for you guys is when you consider the impact of turrets. It's always when you look at the turrets here, the mid lane. There's a zone that the mid turret controls. There's a zone, right? There's a zone that it controls, there's space that it controls, there is space that doesn't make that much sense for the enemy team to enter because of it. When you break the mid tower, all of a sudden you have so many different entry points to the enemy to engage from, right? You can find angles from behind, you can find so many different more angles just to engage from. The same way if you break the top tower, right? If we break this top tower, this dies, all of a sudden all of this space opens up. All of this opens up, and all of a sudden you can take control over this space, and it makes much more sense to find entry into mid. That is why always the sequencing of what turret is the easiest to break is always you take outer towers first and then into mid. Because when you take an outer tower, you open this up and you can enter from behind, you can find angles that make sense. You can push this wave all the way into the tier 2, and the enemy will have a hard time matching your rotation. So when you break the enemy tower, your creeps proceed to walk further. And just because they walk further, let's pretend that the creeps are getting caught on the next turret that is in line. All of a sudden, you have so many different access points that you're taking away from the enemy. You open up paths for yourself and you close them for the enemy by doing this. As I said in the example, this tower breaks, all of a sudden you can push the creeps all the way to this tower, and all of a sudden the rotation that Jax needs to make, or the enemy needs to make if this turret is gone, is that they need to go around, right? They need to go around, they need to take these paths that I'm painting out right now. These are the paths that the team that is at the back foot that lose their turret need to go, and the team that is breaking the tower, right? They can take this pattern, they can take this path, this opens up. And if you don't break this tower, then the path is much smaller. If you get the wave into here, you can only get access to this, realistically. Sure, you can go here, but the rotation from the person that's catching the wave here is much easier to make. He can just take this path and then enter. The same way with mid tower. If the mid tower is alive, if the enemy takes mid prio, they can just enter river, right? That's the gain. That's the gain from having mid prio when towers are live. You can enter river, you can enter here first. You have access to the objectives first. That's why mid towers, like, objectives are always important. You have access to the objectives first if you get mid prio when the turrets are live. If you get prio when this turret is gone, all of a sudden you get access to so much more. You get access to so much more because this is the rotation you're closing from the enemy, and the enemy needs to take a safer path. So afterwards, if you consider breaking mid tower, on top of that is the mid wave crashes in this space. The mid wave crashes in this space, and just because it crashes in this space, it means that you can force engages from these angles. So let's say you push mid wave, you get the prio, and then you walk up, you walk up, you walk up, and then enemy is here. All of a sudden you're in this space. They are no longer defended by a turret. You can find so many new angles to engage the enemy on, and that's why taking mid tower is so significant. Mid tower is OP. Very, very OP. I forgot completely what was going on in this game, talking about this. But let's continue. Jack's now Trinity Force, pretty big. Diana is also growing. Diana eventually reaches a point where she one-shots everyone, right? Not there yet. She's quite tanky. She's in a good state. Excuse me. Give me one moment. Okay, let's continue with the game. Sorry. We are continuing with the game. 4-1. Top esports have a better range with Zoe and so forth. They are going to be better off coming into this Drake space. EDG are trying to find access from the back. Zoe is poking away. Mako's already very low HP, gets landed by Q. This is very bad from the Knight. He's... whoa. Knight is being very greedy here. He is ulting in range of the Leona, so Leona can Q him. Look at Mako reaction there, and then doing the combination. Knight manages to flash out of the Leona ult, which is always going to happen if you ER, because he Q ER, so he doesn't have enough time to frame and put the ult. Knight dies, but Scout also at the same time dies. So here I think Knight just ults way too greedy, gets punished, and then EDG completely. Hope gets the root, and then bam, he's dead. And then at the same time EDG are committing here on the side because they are looking to, of course, contest the Drake, but EDG find the catch on Knight, commit on him, and his Scout is also in the picture already. So EDG had the plan of collapsing on the enemy, but they found a Zoe instead. And I think if the collapsing plan would have happened, I think Top Esports would have decimated the fight. They would have decimated the fight because Zoe position would be too good. So EDG definitely needed to force out Zoe first, and maybe they didn't have the time to do so. So I think this Drake was in Top Esports' favor because of the position. Knight had a wonderful position, and here Top Esports are losing a lot of HP. 369 is looking for a flank, but now he's very far away. 369 has flash if he wants to commit to the fight, but now it is indeed a reset. And the fact that Hope has a blue means that they can heal everyone up, top everyone up. You can see everyone's healthy. They're going for the Drake. Drake is going down very, very fast. Drake is 1k, 1k, and boom, the Drake is gone, giving 2 souls to Senna. Okay. Senna with blue buff is unbelievably OP because all of a sudden all that poke that happened, all the damage that happened just didn't matter anymore. The Senna heal topped everyone off, and it was quite juicy, to say the least. I think Knight just misplayed there, ulted too close to Leona, and made it very difficult here for top esports to abuse the fact that they had a better position. So their Knight died, and then we had the fight, the continuation here, and so forth. Very, very close game here. 369 is going to continue to become stronger and stronger and split. Still, the question still remains that hasn't been answered. Diana versus Jackson split. Who wins? Who wins? Who wins? Who wins? Who wins? Top esports getting this Rift Herald with relatively, like, very little contention. It's kind of strange, considering the impact of this Rift Herald. It's going to be put on the mid-wave, and then all of a sudden top esports can actually play a clean 4-1, and the double TP won't matter too much from EDG because they can actually force engages onto top esports, onto EDG very easy. There's the Rift Herald, there's the turret gone, and now top esports' chances to win this game just increased by a lot. EDG's window into this game is the fact that they have 3 Drakes, they managed to pick them up, and that is definitely the way in. I know that Jax wins against Diana, but he invested money into Ninja Tabi. When he gets another item, for sure he wins, but let's say Diana buys Zonia's now. I think there is some window for outplay here for Scout, because of him buying armor and having just more cost-efficient items. This is a juicy dive here. Senna's nowhere to be found. Senna has an ultimate. TP of Scout is going in. It's coming from a flank. This is very, very deep. One dies. Ooh, okay. Scout with the ult. Photic with the shitty flash. So this is a very dangerous game, right? We have a stopwatch on Leona. Leona's getting engaged on, and everyone's very mobile. There's no wave, so this dive is happening without creeps. It is natural to go for this dive because you are 5v4 in fact, or 5v3. Senna does have an ultimate that is global, and Diana has TP, so I think this is just greedy as fuck. You're happy that the enemy is losing mid-wave, you can pressure, you can look to hit the mid-tower instead. The enemy team didn't show. So here I think they're just being maniacs. Here they're just being maniacs. Like, look at the mid-wave. You could use the mid-wave to force the enemy to show and dive there instead, because what is EDG doing here? You know, EDG should not be 3-man under this turret. It's just a big question mark here. What are they doing here? That's the first mistake, right? Because imagine if instead of going for the bottom turret, top esports just continue down mid lane, threaten dive onto Senna, and then just hit this turret. Right? They hit this turret, let Jax be alone in bottom. If he just freaking... If top esports just hit this mid tower, they will force a reaction from EDG. EDG will have to rotate, they'll have to defend, and then they can rotate and take top tower. But instead they're skipping a step because this wave is being lost, and for some reason EDG is 3-man under this turret. 3-man under this turret, and then Nautilus oinked this pretty big. Like, he cues the turret. There's a hatred with towards the turret, and then boom, Nautilus dies. It looks really, really bad. And then Photic with the Flash of the Ages gets killed. Conqueror on, and all of a sudden, a lot of these guys here on EDG are getting super fed. Scout with a very clean Q there, juicy Q, very nice, very nice. No TP on Scout. EDG got a lot of money in this. Don't feed the Senna, guys. Drake is up now. This is going to be the game decider, honestly. EDG managed to get 3 Drakes, a shitty dive. They managed to catch Knight in a position of weakness. And now it's just a question of Knight can land enough poke to make a difference here. Boom, Mako looking to Q Zoe. And as we all know, Javan, super weak at this point. Lee is super strong in comparison. Jino is also sitting on a decent item. Jax is not the best team fighter. This is, 3 Drakes gives good odds here for EDG. They're poking. That is a land. Ooh, Knight just gets one-shotted. This is the Knight that we've been waiting for. Okay. One dies. What did Lee do here? Lee queued in. Boom, he flies in and just dies. Like, what is Lee decision making right here? Mako went deep to kill, of course, Zoe and used Gargoyle Stone Plate. It's a very good timing. But then Lee just goes in and suicides, and then this fight becomes a lot easier. And there we have the Misfortune Barbecue. Scout. Ooh. Scout. Oh my goodness. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Oh. What the hell, man? Jesus. How clean was that? Woo. That is nuts, man. That is nuts, McGee. Jesus. Look at this. Scout is surrounded by so many inters. And then he just delivers. So boom. Very good play from Mako. Catches Zoe 1-for-1. He's backing off, taking a lot of damage, but then Lee queues in, dies. 369 fights to support his team's commitment onto Leona and Lee here. And then, honestly, I think Jax can just wait. Here. Just wait. He jumps onto Lee, and then here, he's kind of in trouble already. But it's fine. I don't think Jax is the bigger issue here. Lee Sin ints, Mako trades his life for Zoe. Boom. Aatrox here just keeps walking forward. He doesn't give a shit. He just keeps walking forward and then stopwatches. But then look at this move here. Scout, completely healthy. Q into R. Boom. Ultimate lands. The moon. And then look at that Q. Bend it like Beckham. Boom. Jesus, Scout. What are you doing to them? Wow. And then that's the Ocean Soul, the most OP soul. No questions asked. Soul is dirty how OP it is. Wow. All of a sudden this composition that I thought was so great for Team Top Esports is falling off. It's falling off here. It's falling off. It's so crazy because the Ocean Soul also changes the nature of how the split push matchups work. There's no executioner calling for 369, so he's going to have a hard time. That's the Q land, and then Zoe just hugging Leona again. This is a mistake that you can't do, especially if you're in the talking of being the best mid laner. And here Scout just claps them all. What a move, man! Look at that. But Zoe, Diana does not look balanced, by the way. Like, who's better, HQ or Upset? Well, why are you even asking? So now a game that I thought was easy for Top Esports in terms of draft. EDG just played this out better. Top Esports played the early game okay-ish. Gave up a lot of dragons. But he got them. And this posed a super big issue. Top Esports raid control, problematic. And then the dive on bottom, problematic. Knight's Zoe play, very problematic. Very, very problematic. Very problematic. Scout soon TP. This bottom turret is still alive. Like, Jax is not really accomplishing anything anytime soon. Look at this Ocean Drake Fiesta doing a lot of work here on the bottom. It's gonna heal so much. How OP is this, man? Jax is not gonna snowball. Aatrox also got a lot of kills. Baron is on. So here top esports are looking for some shenanigans, but could potentially end bad. EDG don't have the best Nashor team in the world. Senna Nashor damage is pretty trash. It's not that great in comparison to some other AD carries. Lethality is not a good stat for you to kill Nashor with. You want attack speed, crit, and last whisper and shit like that. Diana now capping CDR if she's is she running sorcery second? I don't know what the hell Diana players run. If I'm gonna be completely honest, something I need to check out. 30% CDR at the least. Diana's super strong, crazy strong. Maybe Diana is compensating for the fact that the Senna doesn't do that much damage onto the Nashor. But top esports have no idea this is happening. They are in a bomb cloud right now. This is free, man. This is free real estate. EDG now are committing all of their men onto it, and top esports are finally realizing that something is off. Something is off. EDG. Macro geniuses, man. Macro geniuses. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Ooh, Mako with the Ocean Drake staying alive, Diana on the flankeroo, Diana with the slaughterhouse, and the game is all over. Something that I did very poorly was paying attention to the Drakes that were just going over, because I missed the first two Drakes and they were being traded for Rift, and then all of a sudden we're in a position where EDG had 3 Drakes and then he got one big fight that was in their favor. Knight honestly getting caught. What was up with that? You know, Knight getting caught over and over. Honestly, quite disastrous. It's very bad. Wow, holy moly. To summarize the game, is just the fact that you know, they got away with taking 2 Drakes. Then we had the TP onto bottom, right? We had the TP onto bottom, all of the space, secured them the Drake for EDG. They got the first Drake, got the second Drake, and then Knight, if we play the game of spotting the enter, was definitely Knight, scout by far and beyond, the MVP of this game. The TP onto bottom, secured on the first Drake, then they managed to get the second Drake. Third Drake Ocean, Knight, screwed up, died. Second fight, Knight screwed up and died. The dive on bottom was super optimistic, was really bad. Disaster, man. Disaster. EDG being stone cold. I honestly think that their draft was worse and they had hard conditions to win. Barring that I don't know the power of Diana too much in competitive play. I need to see it more. But Scout made it look very powerful. Thank you so much, Jegork11. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. I will not make a short review of this game. It was kind of too quick.